Welcome back, everyone, to the Deep Dive. Today we're going deep on AgentOps.
AgentOps.
And, you might be asking yourself, what exactly is AgentOps? Well, imagine this. You've got an AI agent. Not only can it, book your flights, reserve hotels, but it can also, handle your taxes.
Oh, wow.
Maybe even write code for you.
Yeah.
Pretty cool, right? That's the power of AI agents. But there's a catch.
There's always catch.
How can we be sure these agents are reliable?
Yeah.
That they actually do what we want them to do? That's where this idea of AgentOps comes in.
Right. It's like we've got this really powerful tool, and now we need to understand how do we use it safely? How do we put the boundaries around it? How do we make sure it doesn't go off the rails?
Exactly. So it's like having a set of blueprints and safety protocols for building, a skyscraper.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want to just start construction without ensuring the foundation is solid.
Absolutely not.
And every step of the process is carefully planned and monitored, right? So AgentOps is kind of like that. It's all about managing the entire life cycle of AI agents.
Yeah.
From development to deployment and then beyond, right? To make sure they're safe, reliable, and really aligned with, our goals.
Yeah, because these agents are going to be interacting with our world, and we want to make sure that the way they're interacting is aligned with how we want them to.
Exactly. So AgentOps is like the rule book,
Yeah.
for building these trustworthy AI agents.
Yeah.
But why is it becoming so important, right now? Why now?
Well, I think the world of AI as we know it is rapidly evolving, right? Things are changing so quickly.
Absolutely.
We're seeing a surge in the development of these increasingly complex agent systems.
Yeah.
And it's driven largely by, I think, advancements in large language models.
Yeah.
LLMs, these agents are capable of handling these multi-step processes. They interact with a variety of different tools and systems, and they can even make decisions with minimal human intervention, right? And so we have this increased complexity, which brings with it a whole new set of challenges.
With what? Give me an example.
Okay, so imagine you have this AI agent, and it's tasked with planning a whole marketing campaign.
Okay.
It needs to analyze the market trends,
Right.
identify the target audience, craft compelling ad copy, and even manage the budget allocation across different channels.
That's a lot.
Yeah, and so if that agent misinterprets the target audience or overspends on a particular channel, the entire campaign could just completely backfire.
Yeah.
Leading to wasted resources, missed opportunity. It's like a marketing manager's worst nightmare.
It seems like the stakes are getting higher as these AI agents are becoming, more powerful and more autonomous.
Absolutely, because they're taking on more responsibilities,
Okay.
right? And so we need AgentOps because it puts those guardrails in place.
Okay.
It ensures transparency and maintains control over these systems, which are only becoming more complex.
So it's like a safety net for our AI agents.
That's a good way to put it. It's ensuring that they don't go rogue.
They don't go Skynet on us.
Exactly. AgentOps provides this framework for responsible AI development.
Okay.
It's that set of checks and balances to make sure that the AI agents are operating within these predefined boundaries and behaving ethically.
That makes sense. I'm starting to get the big picture now. Let's zoom in on, the AgentOps life cycle.
Yeah.
Where does it all begin?
So it all starts with this thing called the Agent Creation Registry.
Okay.
Think of it as like the agent's birth certificate, where we define its core attributes and purpose.
Oh, I see.
This includes stuff like the agent's goals, its instructions, the data it's allowed to access, the LLM model powering its intelligence, even its role within the overall system. It's like building a really detailed profile for a new employee.
Oh, interesting.
Outlining their responsibilities, access levels, performance expectations. It's like, okay, this is what you're going to be doing.
Got it. So we're giving our AI agent, a clear job description.
Exactly. And setting the stage for its actions, so it knows, all right, this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
But how do we make sure it understands the context of its tasks and can, make informed decisions? We can give it instructions.
Sure, you can give it instructions, but it needs to understand the world it's operating in, right?
Exactly.
So that's where context enhancement comes in.
Okay.
We need to provide our AI agent with kind of the necessary background knowledge and information to understand the nuances of its tasks and operate effectively in the real world.
So it's not just about giving the agent commands, right? It's also about giving it the tools and information it needs to interpret those commands correctly.
Absolutely.
And then make, smart decisions based on all that.
It's like giving it a map.
Yeah.
Versus just turn left, turn right.
Exactly.
Here's how to actually navigate. So to do this, there are two key techniques that we use for context enhancement: in-context learning and retrieval augmented generation.
RAG.
Rabig.
Ah,
So in context learning, think of it as like giving the agent a crash course on the task at hand by providing it with relevant examples and demonstrations. It's kind of like showing a new employee how to perform a specific task by walking them through a few scenarios.
so the agent learns by example.
Yeah,
Okay,
mimicking these successful patterns and adapting its behavior.
got it. So what about RAG? What is that?
RAD is all about giving the agent access to this massive library of information
Okay.
that's relevant to its tasks. So this could be anything from internal documents, databases, to external knowledge sources and APIs. Imagine, providing an employee with access to like all the company's resources and allowing them to research and gather information as needed.
Okay, so we've created our agent, given it a clear purpose, we've enhanced its context. Now, how do we actually communicate our intentions to the agent and guide its actions?
That is a great question, and that is where prompt management comes in. This is the step where we're actually talking to the agent and giving it instructions.
Okay.
Prompts are the instructions we give to the agent, telling it what to do and how to do it.
So it's like the commands we type into a search engine or questions we ask a virtual assistant.
Absolutely.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So we're giving the agent this set of instructions,
Yes.
right? And those instructions are going to guide its behavior
Exactly.
to like shape its outputs.
Absolutely. But it's more than just writing clear instructions.
Okay.
It's about understanding kind of like the nuances of language, the capabilities of that LLM model
Right.
and that desired outcome. And there are different types of prompts.
Okay.
Right? We have simple commands, we have complex conversational prompts, and there are different techniques that we can use to actually optimize these prompts to get better performance from our agents.
So prompt management is like having a conversation with our AI agent, and we're guiding it towards a desired outcome through these carefully crafted instructions.
Absolutely.
Okay. But how do we make sure the agent, stays within predefined boundaries? Doesn't go off script, right?
Yeah.
We don't want it going off and doing its own thing.
That's a great point, and that's where guardrails come into the picture. This is where we establish clear limits and safety protocols to prevent the agent from taking actions that could be harmful, unethical, or just simply unintended.
Right.
It's like setting boundaries for a child,
Right.
right? To make sure they stay within safe limits while they're exploring the world around them.
Yeah, you give them a little bit of freedom, but not too much.
Exactly. So guardrails can take many forms, from input validation, output constraints, to these more sophisticated mechanisms like reward shaping and penalty functions.
Got it.
It's all about creating a safe space for our AI agent to operate in
Right.
to prevent it from going into dangerous or undesirable territory.
I like that. So we've created our agent.
Yes.
We've given it context, provided instructions, set up guardrails. What happens when we actually, set it loose in the real world?
That is a great question. And that is the part of the life cycle that we call agent execution.
Oh, okay.
This is where it takes all of its knowledge and skills and puts it into action. Showtime. It's interacting with different tools and systems to achieve those goals, like watching an athlete perform in a competition, right?
Right.
Putting all their training and preparation to the test.
So how does it actually carry out its tasks? Make decisions in real time? How does that work?
It's this really complex interplay of planning,
Okay.
reasoning, memory, and tool usage.
Oh, wow.
So the agent needs to plan its actions,
Okay.
reason about the best course of action, remember past experiences, and then use various tools to interact with the world around it.
It sounds like almost a human at that point.
It's getting there, right? As these models get more sophisticated.
So agent execution is where the magic happens.
Yeah.
But how do we know if our agent is, performing well and meeting our expectations? How do we measure that?
That's a great question, and this is where evaluation and feedback comes into play.
Got it.
We need to constantly monitor and assess our agent's performance. We want to identify any shortcomings and provide feedback to improve its behavior over time.
So it's like giving our AI agent a performance review.
Exactly. Highlighting strengths and weaknesses and offering guidance for improvement. So this can involve both automated metrics and human judgment.
Okay.
We can use automated tests and benchmarks to assess the agent's accuracy, efficiency, adherence to guidelines.
Right.
But then also, humans can come in and provide more nuanced feedback on the agents, like creativity,
Sure.
communication skills, overall effectiveness.
So it's like a combination of, quantitative and qualitative feedback.
Exactly, to really get a holistic view of how the agent is doing.
This whole process sounds incredibly dynamic.
It is.
And iterative, right?
Right.
We're constantly evaluating, refining, improving our AI agent's performance based on, this feedback and real-world observations.
That's the essence of AgentOps. It's an ongoing process of learning and adaptation.
Okay.
So it's ensuring that the AI agents are constantly evolving, they're improving, and they're meeting our needs and exceeding our expectations.
This has been like a really incredible overview of like the AgentOps life cycle.
Absolutely.
But let's get a bit more concrete. Can you give me like a real-world example of how AgentOps is, being used in practice today?
Sure. So a really good example is a company called Autogen.
Okay.
They use AI agents to help users generate high-quality content.
Okay.
So imagine a writer using Autogen's platform
Yeah.
to create a blog post about a new product launch.
Okay.
They could give an AI agent instructions like, write a blog post about our new noise-canceling headphones,
Oh, cool.
highlighting the key features and benefits.
I'm picturing a writer collaborating with an AI agent to, brainstorm ideas, draft sections of the post, even like suggest relevant images or videos.
That's exactly it. It's like this collaborative process.
But how would AgentOps ensure that this AI agent, is reliable, safe, and produces, really high-quality content that aligns with Autogen's brand voice?
That's a great question. So remember the agent creation registry we talked about?
Mm-hmm.
Autogen would use this to define the agent's goals, its instructions, its data sources, and even the tone of voice they want the agent to use.
So they're setting the stage for the agent's, performance,
Exactly.
making sure it understands like the brand's voice, the specific requirements of, the task at hand.
Absolutely.
They would also implement those guardrails, right?
Of course, so that the agent doesn't generate inaccurate information, plagiarize content, or use inappropriate language.
Right.
These guardrails act as those safety measures,
Okay.
ensuring that the AI agent operates within those defined boundaries and produces content that meets Autogen's quality standards.
That makes sense, especially when it comes to brand reputation and credibility.
Absolutely. You want to make sure that your AI is reflecting your brand in a positive light.
What about context enhancement?
Mhm.
How would Autogen ensure that the agent has like the necessary knowledge to create, really compelling content?
Right, so they could use a combination of in-context learning and RGAC. So for in-context learning, they would provide the agent with examples of successful blog posts about similar products.
Got it.
And for RReg, they could give the agent access to their knowledge base of product information,
Okay.
customer reviews, even industry trends.
So the agent would have like all the resources that it needs to create accurate and engaging
Yeah.
content.
Absolutely.
Okay. What about prompt management? How would Autogen ensure that the agent receives like clear and concise instructions?
They would use prompt management to guide the AI agent's writing process. They might give instructions like, write an engaging blog post about our new noise-canceling headphones, highlighting those key features like active noise cancellation, sound quality, comfort.
Okay.
Even include a call to action at the end, encouraging readers to visit the website and purchase the headphones.
Right, right. So the agent has been carefully created.
Yes.
It's been given those guardrails. It's been enhanced with context and provided with really precise instructions.
Absolutely.
Now it's time to let it loose and see what it can do.
Let's see what it can do.
How would Autogen like monitor and evaluate the agent's performance in, a real world setting?
They would use a combination of automated and human evaluation methods.
Okay.
So they might set up automated checks to ensure the agent's writing meets certain quality standards like grammar,
Right.
readability, originality.
Makes sense.
And then they could also have experienced writers review the agent's output,
Got it.
provide feedback on the creativity, the persuasiveness, overall effectiveness.
So that combination of like, the automated checks and then that human feedback seems like a really robust way to ensure that the AI agent's, output meets both like technical and those creative standards.
Absolutely. You're combining a best of both worlds.
But what happens if the agent like makes a mistake or produces content that doesn't, quite meet Autogen standards?
That's where tracing comes in. So Autogen would be able to retrace the agent's steps,
Okay.
examine the data it used, and identify the source of the error.
Oh.
This allows them to improve the agent's training,
Okay.
refine the prompts, maybe even adjust the guardrails to prevent similar issues in the future.
So it's a continuous improvement loop
Exactly.
where, feedback and analysis are used to enhance the agent's performance over time.
You got it.
And that's where AgentOps really shines.
Yeah,
It provides, the framework and the tools to manage this like really complex process effectively.
it does.
It ensures that the AI agents are used responsibly and deliver, real value to businesses and, ultimately their customers.
And to society as a whole, right?
Exactly. So this is a perfect segue, I think, into our next discussion point, which is the future of, agentic operations.
Yeah.
What are some of the emerging trends and advancements in AgentOps that you find particularly, like, exciting? What are you looking forward to?
Yeah. So one area that's really gaining momentum is this concept of multi-agent systems.
Okay.
So this involves multiple AI agents working together
Oh, wow.
collaboratively to achieve a common goal.
That's interesting.
So imagine a team of AI agents, each with their own specialized skills, handling different aspects of a complex project.
Okay.
Like, designing a marketing campaign, developing a new product, even managing an entire supply chain.
Oh, wow. So it's like having this whole team
Yeah,
of, like, AI specialists at your disposal,
absolutely.
each contributing their unique expertise to tackle these complex challenges.
And they can communicate with each other,
Right.
coordinate their actions.
Wouldn't managing, like, such a complex system be a nightmare, though? Like, how do we make sure they're all playing nicely together?
Yeah, that's where AgentOps becomes even more important.
Right.
You need robust tools and frameworks to orchestrate these multi-agent systems,
Okay.
ensure that they're working together harmoniously, prevent conflicts, or any unintended consequences.
It's like conducting an orchestra, right? Making sure all the different instruments are playing in sync
That's a perfect analogy.
to create a beautiful symphony.
We need to think about how to design these systems so that they're promoting collaboration,
Yeah.
efficiency, and ethical decision-making.
This brings us to, like, another really exciting frontier, I think, in AgentOps, which is, like, the integration of AI agents with the physical world,
Yes.
right? We've been talking about agents interacting with, digital tools and systems, but what about agents that can, like, control robots,
Yes.
drones, or even entire factories?
That's an area with immense potential.
I bet.
And we're already seeing examples of AI agents controlling robots in warehouses and factories, optimizing logistics,
Oh, wow.
even performing tasks that are way too dangerous for humans.
That's amazing.
Imagine a world where you have these AI-powered robots working alongside human workers,
Oh, wow.
seamlessly collaborating to
Yeah.
increase productivity,
That's incredible.
enhance safety, create these new possibilities.
It's like something out of, like, a science fiction movie, but it's happening now.
It's happening right now.
But as with any, like, powerful technology, there are always, risks involved. How do we ensure that these AI-powered robots are, safe, reliable, and they operate within, like, those ethical boundaries? How do we make sure they're, like, not going to turn on us?
Yeah, we're not creating the Terminator here.
Right. It's exact.
So again, AgentOps plays a critical role in that.
What?
We need to develop those robust safety protocols, testing procedures, and oversight mechanisms to ensure that they're used responsibly
Okay.
and don't pose a threat to humans or the environment.
This all kind of points to a future where AI agents are, like, seamlessly integrated into our lives, right?
Yeah,
Both in, like, the digital and physical realms,
absolutely.
transforming industries and shaping the way we live, work, and interact with the world.
Yeah, I think we're on the cusp of a really exciting time where AI is going to be permeating every aspect of our lives.
It's incredible. But as we delve deeper into the world of AgentOps, there's this one concept that keeps, like, coming up, and that's, observability.
Yeah.
Why is observability so crucial, in the context of AI agents?
Well, observability is all about having this clear understanding of what our AI agents are doing,
Okay.
why they're doing it,
Right.
and how their actions are impacting the world around them. It's like having this window into the agent's decision-making process.
Oh, interesting.
Right, allowing us to monitor its behavior, identify potential issues, and intervene if necessary.
That makes sense. We can't just blindly trust these AI agents, no matter how sophisticated they become.
We can't just assume they're going to do the right thing.
Right. We need to have those mechanisms in place to hold them accountable and ensure that they're operating within, those ethical boundaries.
Absolutely. And that's where traceable artifacts come in.
So traceable artifacts are, like, the breadcrumbs that allow us to, follow the agent's journey
Exactly.
and understand how it arrived at a particular outcome. They're essential for, debugging errors, improving performance, building trust in these systems.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
But what exactly are these traceable artifacts? And how do they help us achieve observability in, AI agent systems.
Mhm.
We'll delve into that, fascinating topic in our next segment.
Looking forward to it.
Stay tuned.
So think of traceable artifacts as like a detailed logbook of the AI agent's journey. They capture every step of its decision-making process,
Okay.
from the initial input and prompts to the actions taken, and then the final outputs.
Got it. It's kind of like leaving a trail of breadcrumbs.
It is. It is. It's like Hansel and Gretel, but instead of leading us back home, they're guiding us through these intricate pathways of the AI agent's mind.
Okay, so these traceable artifacts, they're basically like a record of like the agent's thoughts and actions, right?
Exactly.
But how do we actually collect and analyze this information? I mean, it sounds like we'd be dealing with like a massive amount of data,
Yeah.
especially as these AI agent systems, become more and more complex.
You're absolutely right. The volume and complexity of these traceable artifacts can be pretty overwhelming. That's why we need those specialized tools and techniques to manage, analyze, and interpret this data effectively.
Right.
It's like having a powerful microscope
Okay.
that allows us to zoom in on those intricate details of the agent's behavior,
Oh, that's a good analogy.
revealing patterns, anomalies, insights that would otherwise remain hidden.
So we're not just passively observing the agent's behavior.
Yeah.
We're actively like investigating its actions and decisions, right? Using these traceable artifacts to understand like the why behind the what.
Exactly. We're not just watching, we're trying to understand the motivations.
Right.
Traceable artifacts are like providing the evidence to conduct a forensic analysis
Okay.
of the AI agent's behavior. They help us answer questions like, why did the agent choose this particular course of action?
Right.
Or what data did it rely on to make this decision? They're really important for debugging errors, identifying biases, and just ensuring that the agent is operating as intended.
This is really cool. But how do we actually put this into practice? Like, can you give me some concrete examples of traceable artifacts and how they're used in like real-world AgentOps situations?
Absolutely. So let's go back to our Autogen example.
Okay.
Remember, the writer using the AI agent to create the blog post about those noise-canceling headphones?
Yep, I remember.
Imagine that the agent produces a draft that's factually inaccurate, or it misrepresents the product features.
Okay. Yeah.
So with traceable artifacts, we can go back and examine the agent's thought process.
Oh, that's really cool.
We can see the prompts that the writer gave,
Uh-huh.
what data the agent accessed, and even what logic it used to generate that output.
So it's like having a replay of the agent's like writing process.
It is.
And then we can kind of pinpoint exactly where things went wrong and why.
Exactly. We might discover that the agent was given like a really ambiguous prompt,
Okay.
or that it accessed like outdated product information, or that its reasoning process was flawed.
Right. So by understanding the root cause of the error,
Yeah,
we can actually take corrective action.
absolutely. And that's what's so powerful about it.
That could involve like refining the prompts,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Updating the agent's like knowledge base or even like adjusting its training data to improve its accuracy and reliability.
You got it.
So this is a great example of how traceable artifacts can be used to, debug errors and improve agent performance.
Yeah.
But how do we ensure that these AI agents are operating within like those ethical boundaries?
Right.
Can traceable artifacts help us detect and mitigate biases that might, creep into these systems? Because that seems like a real concern.
It is a huge concern.
Yeah.
And it's something that we need to be really careful about. So while traceable artifacts alone can't like guarantee ethical behavior,
Okay.
they can definitely provide those valuable insights into the agent's decision-making process,
Yeah.
helping us identify those potential biases, and then we can take corrective action. So for example, let's say our Autogen AI agent is consistently writing blog posts that appeal more to a certain demographic group,
Okay.
and it inadvertently excludes or misrepresents others. With traceable artifacts, we can analyze the agent's training data, the prompts it received, and even the language patterns it used to pinpoint where that bias is coming from.
So it's like we're conducting a fairness audit
Exactly.
on the AI agent's behavior.
Yeah.
Using these traceable artifacts to like uncover those hidden biases.
Yes.
And then make sure that, the agent's outputs are inclusive and equitable.
Absolutely. We want to ensure that the AI is being fair.
This has been like a really eye-opening discussion about the importance of, observability and traceable artifacts and AgentOps. It's clear that as AI agents become more integrated into our lives, we really need these mechanisms to understand their behavior, ensure their reliability, and hold them accountable, for their actions.
It's about building trust
Right.
with these systems.
But all of this sounds, quite technical and complex.
It can be, yeah.
What kind of expertise is needed to actually implement and manage these AgentOps systems effectively?
You need a lot of different skills, right?
Yeah.
It's a multidisciplinary field that draws on expertise from computer science, data science, software engineering, even areas like psychology and ethics.
Oh, wow.
Because you need to understand how to design and develop AI agents, manage these data pipelines, build monitoring systems, analyze these complex data sets.
It sounds like a dream job for someone who loves problem solving
It is.
and working at the cutting edge of technology.
Absolutely. If you like a challenge, this is the field for you.
But it also seems like a field that's rapidly evolving.
Oh yeah, it's constantly changing.
How do you stay up to date with all the latest advancements and best practices?
It's a constant learning process.
I bet.
I make it a priority to read research papers, attend industry conferences, and engage with online communities where people are sharing their knowledge and experiences.
It's like you're always going back to school.
Yeah, it's a never-ending education.
Speaking of looking ahead, we've touched upon, some really exciting possibilities for the future
Yeah.
of agentic operations.
Right.
Like those multi-agent systems and those AI-powered robots.
Absolutely.
What are some of the challenges and considerations that we need to address as these technologies, become more and more common?
Well, I think as we venture further into this realm of, these really sophisticated AI agents,
Yeah.
we need to be really mindful of the potential risks and ethical implications.
That makes sense.
We need to ensure that these agents are aligned with human values.
Right. They're not just off doing their own thing.
Exactly. We don't want them to perpetuate biases.
Right.
Or pose a threat to human safety or autonomy.
Right. We don't want to create the Terminator.
Right. We don't want to create the
We
Terminator.
want to make sure that these systems are working for us, not against us.
Exactly. It's all about, this collaboration between humans and AI.
Those are really crucial considerations. It's not just about, building cool technology, right?
It's not.
It's about using that technology responsibly and ethically,
Yeah.
to benefit humanity.
We want to make the world a better place.
Exactly.
Hmm.
So we need to think really carefully about the guardrails we put in place.
Yes.
The level of autonomy we grant these agents, the mechanisms we establish for, human oversight.
It's all about striking that balance
Okay.
between harnessing the power of AI
Right.
and maintaining human control and accountability.
It's not about replacing humans, right? It's about augmenting them.
Exactly. It's about this partnership.
That's a really powerful vision for the future. But how do we actually get there? What are some of the key steps we need to take to ensure that AI agents are, developed and deployed responsibly and ethically?
So one crucial step is to establish clear ethical guidelines
Okay.
and regulations for AI development. We need to define what is acceptable and unacceptable behavior for these AI agents. And we need to create mechanisms for enforcement and accountability.
So it's setting the ground rules for the AI game.
Absolutely.
Right. Making sure everyone's playing fair and that the benefits of AI are shared widely.
We want everyone to benefit.
We also need to foster greater transparency, right?
Yes.
In AI development.
Transparency is key.
Yeah.
We need to make those decision-making processes of the AI agents more understandable to humans.
Right.
And we need to create mechanisms for auditing and monitoring their behavior.
We can't just trust these black boxes, right? We can't just let them do their own thing.
We need to be able to look inside
Yes.
and understand how they work.
Absolutely. And finally, I think we need to invest in education and public awareness.
Okay. Yeah.
We need to demystify AI, educate people about its potential benefits and risks,
Yeah.
and empower them to actually engage in these informed discussions about its role in society.
It sounds like this multifaceted challenge.
It requires collaboration between technologists, policymakers, ethicists, the public.
Absolutely. It's going to take all of us.
This has been a really thought-provoking conversation.
Yeah, it hurt.
We've covered so much ground, from the technical details of AgentOps to the ethical considerations.
It's been a great discussion.
But there's one question that, kind of lingers in my mind. What happens when AI agents become so sophisticated that they can design their own WN guardrails?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Will we ever truly understand the why
Yeah.
behind their decisions?
That's a fascinating question. And a little bit unsettling, to be honest.
It is.
It's we're stepping into this realm of artificial general intelligence, or AGI,
Eh.
where AI systems possess, like, human-level intelligence and capabilities.
And that's, still a long way off, I think. But
We're getting closer.
yeah, it's a possibility that, we need to start thinking about seriously.
Me
It
too.
raises all sorts of questions about control and accountability.
Yeah.
And even, like, the very nature of intelligence.
So it's almost philosophical.
It is. It is. It's a reminder that as we develop these increasingly sophisticated AI systems,
Yeah.
we really need to engage in these deep and thoughtful conversations about, like, the ethical and societal implications. It's not just about can we do it, but should we do it?
Exactly. We have to think about the consequences.
What kind of future do we want to create with AI?
That's the question we all need to be asking ourselves.
Yeah, and it's a question I think, worth pondering as we kind of, move forward into this new world, this new age of AI. But for now, let's bring our deep dive into AgentOps back to the present. We've covered a lot, right? From the intricate details of the AgentOps lifecycle to just vast potential of multi-agent systems and these AI-powered robots.
It's been quite a journey.
Yeah.
Exploring the kind of, the challenges and opportunities that come with these increasingly complex agent systems.
Right.
And how AgentOps provides kind of that framework and those tools to manage these powerful technologies responsibly.
We've talked about the importance of observability, those traceable artifacts, ethical considerations. But before we wrap up, let's take a minute and just distill the kind of key takeaways for our listeners, right?
Okay.
What are the most important things you want them to remember about AgentOps?
Well, I think first and foremost that AgentOps is not just this technological framework. It's like a philosophy of responsible AI development. It's about building AI agents that are reliable, safe, and aligned with, human values.
Right.
And ensuring that these, powerful technologies are used to benefit humanity, not to harm or control us.
That's a really crucial point. It's not just about building cool technology just for the sake of innovation.
Yeah.
It's about using that technology to make the world a better place, to solve problems, create new possibilities.
Absolutely. And I think the second key takeaway is that observability is just paramount. We need to be able to see what our AI agents are doing, understand why they're doing it, and how their actions are impacting the world around them. We can't just blindly trust these systems. We need to have the tools and mechanisms to monitor their behavior, identify potential issues, and intervene if necessary.
It's like having a window
It is.
into the AI agents' decision-making process, right? So we can, hold them accountable and make sure they're operating, within those ethical boundaries.
Absolutely. We want to keep them in check.
And that brings us to, the third key takeaway. Traceable artifacts.
Yeah.
These are like the breadcrumbs that allow us to follow the AI agent's journey,
They are.
understand how it arrived at a particular outcome,
Yeah.
and identify the root cause of any errors or biases.
It's right.
And these are essential for debugging, improving performance, building trust in these systems.
It's all about understanding that why behind the...
Exactly. So traceable artifacts are like, the evidence in a detective case. You're trying to piece together the AI agent's actions.
That's a great analogy.
You want to understand the why, the how, and all of that, right?
Absolutely.
So they provide, the insights we need to hold these AI agents accountable, ensuring they operate fairly, ethically,
Yes.
in accordance with our expectations.
That's right.
Well, this has been an incredible deep dive into the world of AgentOps. We've learned so much about this emerging field, its potential to transform industries, and, this critical importance of responsible AI development.
It's been my pleasure sharing my insights with you and all the listeners out there.
Of course.
And I hope this deep dive has kind of sparked your curiosity
Yeah.
and inspired you to learn more about this really fascinating world of AgentOps.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And as we conclude our exploration of AgentOps, we want to leave you with this final thought. The future of AI is not predetermined.
No, it's not.
Right. It's being shaped, right now, by the choices we make, the questions we ask, and the actions we take.
We all have a role to play.
As AI agents become increasingly integrated into our lives, let's remember that we have a responsibility to guide their development and ensure they are used for good.
Absolutely. Let's build that future together.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the world of AgentOps. We hope you found it as fascinating and as thought-provoking as we did. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep asking those crucial questions about the role of AI in our lives.